I want to give everyone a quick second so that you can meet our fabulous group of panelists. We're going to keep this brief, guys, because there's a lot of you. All right, starting with you.
El Gun Legro, your favorite rapping hero.
JC, aka Jerome Chance of Broken Pixels.
Nerdsworth, aka Flips, captain of the Freedom Ship Amistad.
That's of the Broken Pixels Federation.
Jazz Williams, aka Hookmaster, and I'm the producer of Nerdcore.
I don't need no introduction. Y'all remember me from the Boy Heat Boys in the 90s. Remember that? Well, I'm back. MC Chalk Skip. Yeah, my name is Rich Prophet, aka Richie Cunningham, aka the White Larry Bird, and I'm here with Chalkskin, chalkskin.com, and we love you.
DJ Pop and Fresh.
She said keep it brief. J-Man, the self-imposed Justin Bieber of hip-hop.
I'm Aubrey Miller, aka Tiny Teddy Bear. I do Nerdcore marketing, agent, and manager and promoter.
Aubrey also puts together a fabulous night monthly down in San Diego called Nerdcore Nights. You guys got to check that out, by the way. It's a lot of fun. We are missing one of our panelists. What was it, Aubrey? MC Lars couldn't make it. His plane was delayed from New Zealand, so apologies on that. But we're going to keep it moving. Fabulous panelists here. How many people know already about what Nerdcore actually is and what that's what you're here for, right? You like it, or you want to know more about it?
How many people like Nerdcore? Can I see a show of hands?
Yeah, no, not hands. Make some noise.
Hands are for elementary school.
Well, now that I'm not laughing.
Pardon me.
All right, so I want to start off with a quick question I know everyone has, and that's how did you guys kind of come into, it's not like you woke up one day and said, I want to be a Nerdcore artist. Maybe you did, actually. So how did you kind of get into this industry? Let's start with you guys, someone.
Yeah, I actually got introduced to Nerdcore hip-hop by Aubrey way down at the bottom. That little monster right there is amazing. I was really, I don't know, inspired by her. She asked me to come do a show, and I said sure. Didn't think much of it, and next thing you know, I'm up here on the table. So much props. Thank you. Love you.
You're welcome.
I got introduced to Nerdcore because I was told my music was Nerdcore. I actually started off by rapping my reviews of video games. And then because of that, that's where I got, I guess, pigeonholed. Not to say it's a bad thing, but it is what it is.
I've always been musical. I was actually in a rock band for a few years with my current roommate. I also did a lot of poetry, but I grew up a nerd, and it's funny because JC right here, like 3 years ago, we were actually building on Broken Pixels, and then it came back around where I had time to do the damn thing. I grew up hip hop, so it just so happened that I rhyme about what I'm passionate about and what I can relate to. Instead of booties and butts and guns, I can rap about pixels and passing a level. So.
I guess I could say that I deal with a lot of different genres of music, from anything urban, mind you. Nerdcore is a really interesting genre because it's more of a passion of mine to create a fantasy world with music. That was something that I had always dreamed about doing. And I think Nerdcore for me was a way to bring all those elements to the table without having somebody tell me what I should do, or I should put things in a box in terms of music. So I think, working with some of these guys, I worked with Chalkskin and El Gun, and I created both their albums. And I can tell you that, working with Nerdcore actually allows me to, experience my inner child from the 80s, really a pleasant experience, and that's how I got started. It's always in my mind, but I think now I'm able to really put that to life, bring that to life through other artists like these guys up here.
Yo, the reality is I am hip hop, right? And hip hop just now is realizing what all y'all know. Look around. You guys don't hide your light in the bushel. And if we're gonna keep it real, we gotta keep it real about what we're all passionate about, right? And we all love Star Wars. We all love video games. We love crack.com. Let's rap about it.
I'm not a big fan of yelling into the microphone.
Yeah, he is.
I prefer a little more subdued approach, a little quiet storm, if you will. And you're welcome. For 92.5. No, my name is Rich Prophet. I've been rapping since I was a little kid, and I kind of realized through trial and error that I'm a nerd too, because I done rap with the hardest hard guys, and the soft guys. And and what I found is that the true meaning of music is a language that everybody understands, and I think we all understand fun and our passions, which may be Star Wars. I mean, we have a track on the album that's about what's better, Star Wars or Star Trek. I mean, what do you think? Star Trek. Exactly, and hence Trek Wars was born. So, it's really about just finding what's inside of you, and it's not about even identifying with any genre, it's just about identifying with yourself and the true love and passion for what you're doing. And I know you guys all have that. That's why you're here today, to celebrate, just enjoying the hell out of something. And that's why I do what I do. Because you find me online rapping about booties and hoes and bitches and blunts and Cadillacs and grape drinks and fried chicken. So, but long story short, you do what you love, and you love what you do. And DJ Poppin' Fresh, keep it brief.
See how you just do me? You just give me a little short time. But anyway, I started off, as a child. No.
Speed forward a little bit.
I forgot about, I did too.
I always had a little geek in me and a little song in me. Not just because I'm black, okay? But I always had this in me, and I started off experimenting. I experimented under the name Green Ghost. Did my little stuff, and MC Charleston, he heard what I did, and he decided to bring me on. Told me to rap with him, and since I like the techie stuff, I started rapping about that too. So that's basically how I got introduced to it, and he named me DJ Poppin' Fresh, and I just became that character, and it's been good ever since then. All right, I'm keeping it brief. All right, DJ man. Did you say word coming?
Move on.
I just played Mario when I was like 5 or 6, and I went to my mom and I was like, I gotta rap about this. I seriously had no problem. And now I'm on a panel about how I rap about Mario.
Unlike these guys, where I found like a love for gaming and stuff like that, and then decided to rap about it, I'm not that musically creative. So actually, my background comes in marketing and advertising, and I became really good friends with Dr. Awkward and MC Lars, and I was able to figure out how I could help them out and kind of help grow the scene and kind of help people discover the scene and the music, because realistically we all are nerds in our true selves. So yeah, everybody's nodding. So I really came to this through just wanting to help out friends and help them help their music, and also help a scene that I love, whose focus is on things that I love as well.
Yeah.
Before I move on to it, does anyone else have any questions? I want to make sure you guys get a chance to ask yours if you have any. If not, I'm moving. Okay, you have one? Come on.
I have a question. Is Nerdcore at all interested in being featured in like different web series and things on the internet, or are you trying to keep it your own style and not really?
Please, I'll answer that.
To the man in the red headband.
The broad answer is yes. Actually, Nerdcore and I are actually creating a web series that the whole thing is wrapped. Every episode is a wrapped episode. So the answer to that is yes. Was there anything more specific than that, or?
Oh yeah, my follow-up question is I do a superhero web series and we feature different artists around it. Totally promote them, we do full articles on our website and everything.
555 J-Man. 555.
Well, yeah, I think you should definitely hit us up afterwards.
Yeah, link with us after the panel, man. 100%.
Can I just chime in on that real fast? I think that it's important to know that, yes, all the artists, like, obviously want their music out there. They're very picky about where they put it because they want to make sure that whatever they're putting their brand on is they're aligning themselves with the proper brands.
Yeah,
Things
well
like your website.
Okay, I don't know if any of you have heard of Graydon Square.
Now I have.
Okay, so there's he does this science education, like skepticism sort of rap, where he promotes science, he promotes skeptical thinking, and I was wondering if any of you would be interested in getting some into that scene,
I would love to battle him.
I want to do something about the Pythagorean theorem. So, I mean, I'll speak for everyone for once and to say that any of you guys that have questions about collaborations or expanding upon the scene, just like Aubrey said, we're here to grow this because you guys are awesome. So if we all our powers combined, Captain Planet.
How do you guys feel about going mainstream? Like, I know there's always the question, and I know you guys know I was going to bring this up, about the nerdcore versus the mainstream hip-hop scene, so on and so forth. How do you guys actually feel about your stuff going mainstream, or do you prefer it to stay its niche?
I don't think they're mutually exclusive. We all love LMFAO. That's nerdcore.
Exactly.
And that is the mainstream. That's hip-hop now. So it is the mainstream.
I was going to say something too about that is, I remember when Eminem first came out, and it was a big deal because, I mean, he was tackling a lot of, nerdcore type issues in his first CD. And a lot of people were kind of like, oh my gosh, like what is he talking about, Primus? And, doing something with his eyelids. Like nobody really understood what he was talking about, but they knew he was coming from the heart and coming from a genuine place. And I think, I think nerdcore has always been somewhat mainstream. It just has not been classified into a subgenre, you know what I mean? Like, so I think what we're here to do is actually create that lane that's already been there forever. We're just, putting a face and a name to it. But it's always been in the mainstream, I feel. Always.
Flitz, you're shaking your head. What are you thinking?
For me, my big thing is just being, if I am going to be on the mainstream, which is a thing I get from Stan Lee, with great powers come great responsibility. And the thing about hip hop today is that the responsibility has been damaged, really damaged. And so as a nerdcore artist, I want to be as responsible as I can be and have those people like you guys and the generation behind us to at least have something to hold on to, because I mean, I don't know how long you can hold on to a booty, but it's being very limited.
Let me, on that note, as far as the mainstream, how many nerds out there like booties? By noise, please. How many of y'all like to smoke blunts? Yeah! We're not.
Keep trying to get that in there.
Won't be calling the cops on
Your own pockets.
I don't know. I disagree. But I know plenty of folks that sit at home that are full nerds and they defy the mainstream. They don't want to be a part of the mainstream. So I think it mostly goes back to just doing what we love, and we're going to keep riding that path until the mainstream takes recognition of what it is we're doing, and then then they call it mainstream and they say that they discovered us. And you guys discovered us. You guys spread the seed and everything like that. And so, mainstream.
I think I was supposed to always be rich, so however we can get that dream realized as soon as possible. 555 J-Man.
So one of the things he was talking about with Eminem and mainstream, a lot of people don't know. Eminem is a huge nerd. People don't know, he loves comic books. That man, actually, his pencil work is ridiculous. He can actually draw, too. And one of his favorite superheroes was Spider-Man. as far as society now and mainstream and what it is, one of the things that we have up here that is a very that we don't have up here actually is a very mainstream thing is manufacturing. We're not manufactured. We're a group of people who are very passionate about what we talk about, what we spit about, as the hip hoppers say. And we don't have a bunch of ghostwriters and a bunch of money in the studio saying you can release this song, this song, this song, and you can't release this song because we don't think people would get it. Mainstream is very manufactured. Are we against mainstream? No. If the money is right, if we can, we all love to live off of what we do.
Money's good.
Money's good.
Paying for my ticket.
But at the same time, I think with being nerdcore groups up here, there's also something so very personal about what we talk about and what we share and what we convey to our community and the people we love and the people who love us back. So.
Yeah, I mean, if we rap about how we don't like the prequels, it's because we're angry. It's not because we're like, what do nerds talk about?
Yeah.
Alright, and real quick, just to touch on what you said, there is actually a comic book, Eminem versus the Punisher. Y'all didn't know that.
Are there any other questions? I saw someone else's hand. You have one?
Within the last couple of years, nerd culture has become more like integrated into the mainstream. How do you guys feel about that? Like, have you guys been like receiving a little bit more recognition, a little bit more popularity because of that? I mean, like, you guys have your own panel at a convention this year.
Right.
You know? I've never heard of that before.
Well, it's really funny because, like I said, how I got introduced to nerdcore hip hop. Before I was going in front of, like hardcore rap and gang violence, and I'm like the only person that's not cussing up on stage, and people were kind of like, I don't know how to really take this guy serious or what.
Fuck that.
And so, like I said, I didn't even know about it, and when I was engaged upon it with Aubrey, and I fell in love with the people in the crowd, and they fell in love with me, I was like, wow, this is crazy. But then, as I started doing more research, I realized, holy crap, I'm like, where have I been in the last 2 or 3 years? You got Frontalot, Lars, you got, what?
MC Craig?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, come on.
Megatron. I mean, there was a whole culture, even documentaries on it. And I'm still learning. That's the cool thing, but it's being accepted. That's the love. Lollapalooza.
What did you just say?
Lollapalooza. The festival.
Nerdapalooza?
Nerdapalooza.
No, but the big one too,
no,
right?
Lollapalooza.
There's a
Lollapalooza.
it's something of pollution. Okay.
Yes. The illusion.
You know what I was saying.
The nerds know.
Just to touch upon that, because I do actually work on like a monthly basis with like actually talking to people and creating these events and like spreading the word, blah blah blah. To touch upon your question of, nerd culture kind of hitting the mainstream, is it growing it? I think it's kind of like still kind of like a secret society thing where, like Lars's videos, your guys' videos will fucking shoot up. The numbers are huge on YouTube. But then when you create like an actual event, and like you label it Nerdcore, I tell people about it and they're like, oh, well, is it just going to be a bunch of nerds there? And I'm like,
Well, yes.
I'm like, well, yeah, but let's think about it this way. Do you play video games? Like, fuck yeah, I love Black Ops. Or, fuck yeah, I love, my very first Street Fighter game on Super Nintendo, and they'll go on for 20 minutes, and I'm like, yeah, you should probably come out. You'll probably have fun. Do you read comic books? Like, fuck yeah, every Wednesday, comic book day. And I'm like, yeah, you should probably come hang out. And they come, and they're like, oh my god, I had no idea what this scene was about. I thought it would be people playing chess and like doing algorithms on it. And I'm like, no, it's really getting in touch with who you are and the things that you love. So, I mean, in a real world sense, where people aren't just sitting behind a computer and figuring this out, I think it's still going to take a while to kind of catch on, other than just through the internet.
And that's leaving off from where she left off. It was actually a very organic thing. You think about it, like a lot of these cats born in the 80s, early 90s, we grew up playing video games. Now we're the cats who are running the film industry and building the programs that you love to play. So it was actually a very organic thing. If you grew up reading comic books, why is The Dark Knight doing so well on a universal level? It's not just because someone was like, shove nerds in their face. It's because people grew up reading these things, and just so happen, the people with the power, the people with the money, they're the ones who say, oh, I remember that. Oh, that's good. Oh, he knows the source material? Oh, he's a good director. Oh, he really likes it as well? Yes, make a movie. So that's why Comic-Con blew up. I mean, Comic-Con is deviating into but nerd culture, the culture we know as nerd culture, it is pop culture. We're literally ruling the world. Everybody and their grandma has a smartphone. Everybody, there's like 5 computers in everybody's house. Who do you think built those things?
It's about changing the perception too, right? Like you think about the Batman movies where Batman had nipples on his suits. That was comic books 10 years ago. 15 years ago, whenever that came out. And now they understand that Christopher Nolan is showing them what comic books actually are. And we've known it all along,
Hey, there's an actual event that's coming about. It's called...
ComiKaze.
No? No?
Yeah, that's
Popping fish now, popping.
All right.
Okay,
All right,
so,
I know. And I'm
any
going to
other
just put a lid
questions?
on it. Stop touching it.
So the origins of hip hop. You got a guy with the mic. You got a guy with 2 turntables. You got a guy beatboxing. You don't got a lot of money involved in that. You have a rock band. You need instruments and all that. And so you guys have a phone that has an 8-track recorder on it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys seeing that maybe that Nerdcore is kind of like anybody with $100 in their pocket can now record something? Oh, you're the producer.
Answer this question.
That's awesome.
Answer it.
Oh, I gotta answer this
Everybody
question.
can make music now.
Yes, this is why I have to ask this, because I'm so glad you said that, because right now everybody is going to Guitar Center and buying, a piece of equipment and trying to put together music. And I will tell you that in producing the albums on this stage, these albums didn't take a month or 2 months. They took a 1.5 years to a year to create. And I can tell you that putting the time and energy is not going to be by just recording on your phone. You're going to have to, and one thing about Nerdcore that I realize is that it's a fantasy world, you guys. It's not something that you can just, okay, you slap a beat and a beatbox together and you put it together. If you take anything like, say, Final Fantasy or, Black Ops, it's like an escapism from the real world. There has to be instrumentalists, there's got to be musicians, there's got to be samples, there's got to be all kinds of things thrown in. Now, you can do it the regular route.
And you should.
Yeah, but I feel like when you're putting together a piece of work or an opus, I feel like the time you put into it. A lot of people want to put out a project in 3 months, when in actuality you should be taking a 1.5 years to 2 years, sitting down and really crafting a masterpiece.
You have to understand,
So important.
you gotta start. You can't
Yeah.
jump into that.
No.
You
I
gotta
would
start.
totally counter that point with the fact that you look at Adam Warrock, you look at MC Frontalot, look at Dr. Awkward, look at Lars. They're putting out stuff every month. And that's how the internet works these days. Like we are the tech generation.
Right.
You have to be on top of your game. You have to be putting this stuff out. However, to counter, to really go into your point of, anyone can make music. Anyone can make music. I think it's a really good, it's a good thing that people are so able to express themselves, because that's why we're all really here, is to be able to express what we really love and what we're really into.
But I think, let me counter that. One point I would like to make, because I really, Trek Wars! Yes, Trek Wars. But I really feel that if you're just starting out in Nerdcore, this is what you want to do for the first time out the gate. This is your first time. Take your time. Now, I do agree that Lars, he can put out records, but people know who Lars is now. He's got a track record. The steam train is rolling. But if this is your first time out the gate, take your time, people. I cannot stress that enough. If you don't take your time, what happens is people are not going to really feel or understand everything you have in your head. Take your time, and I guarantee you, okay, then after that, you can put out how many albums you want. But that first time, I don't care if it takes you 3 years, take that time, because I guarantee you, it'll pay off in the end. People will really understand the value of your work.
But let's not discourage anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, okay.
Make 365 songs,
Yes.
and you're gonna learn how to make music. And
Well,
then
right.
you can take your money to somebody that'll charge you.
Let me get back to the gentleman's original point that I think he's kind of getting at, is that nerdcore, and I defy this for a minute, nerdcore and hip hop don't necessarily, it's not, you'll see like Frontalot and Lars will label it as nerdcore hip hop. And the two of them seem very disparate from each other originally, to me. Because hip hop is the shit that I grew up listening to in the streets, and E40 to Mos Def and Talib Kweli and Dead Prez and, you know, Rakim, and taking it all the way back because I'm old. God bless you, I just got a baby face. But when it all boils down to it, nerdcore in its many forms, because we put out an album, Chalksky and the Four Ugly Guys up here, we put out a record called Payday that took 9 months. It was like having a baby. But that said, I'm sitting there cranking tunes out in my bedroom on my laptop. You know, like Lars blew my mind when I saw him live, because I'm like, these beats are simple as hell. But what he's doing is making good music. And that takes time. Whether you're doing it on a laptop or whether you know, that's a little bit of Jazz's point and a little bit of Aubrey's point. And going back to our boy in the audience, it is hip hop. Nerdcore is very much hip hop. It's 2 turntables and a microphone, or 2 smartphones and a MIDI controller. You know, Mac and MIDI, you know, has saved my life as far as being able to create and express myself freely and not be bound to a studio schedule or a monetary dollar, you know, amount that I need to reach to get in the studio. It's freeing, and that is what music should always be about. It's just letting your balls hang loose.
I think what we're kind of forgetting here, though, is that nerdcore is really about content and not really about, like,
So in other words,
the production.
do you. No matter what you choose to do, just do you.
Yeah, keep it real.
There you go. You guys want to tell them what you've got coming up next? We can go down the line real quick before we head out.
Well, I just got nominated a second year for hip hop. So I know that's might be just random, but that's the only thing really right now. We are shooting another video off this album. It's called Return of the Future. And like I said, I really appreciate everybody up on this table for doing the best they can to make it possible for me and allowing me to be up here. And most importantly, the fans. If you guys don't know me, now you know me.
Word. Elgon Negro.
So Broken Pixels has a few things coming up within the next 4 weeks, actually. Next Saturday, we're going to be participating in a rap contest at the 2nd Street Jazz Cafe. $10 if you want to get in. Actually, this Tuesday, our song Tagging In, which was for the Street Fighter Cross Tekken game, is actually going to be in the 25th anniversary collection edition for Street Fighter that releases on Tuesday. Also, as you already know, this video releases on Machinima on the 2nd. And then we also have a concert with Mega Ran and I believe Elgun this October 4th.
October 4th, yeah.
I got on that concert?
Yeah, you're on it.
Hey, so I'm gonna do a concert on October 4th. Hey!
Mark your calendars.
That's in San Diego at the Ruby Room.
I'm sorry, I just talked to Megaran this morning about it. Okay, you're good.
Yeah, fool.
Okay.
We'll also be working with Justin Timberlake to bring back MySpace. No, that's not
That's a joke.
Okay, first things first, Elgin Ligro. We are tentatively coming up with the schematics for his second LP entitled Empire Strikes Black. And it will definitely be done with passion and professionalism and some money, like they were saying. I've been back and forth with MC Lars as of recent about doing collaborations. I'm really excited about that. He's been touring as of recent, so it'll be really exciting to really sit down with him personally and work with him on some tunes from scratch. And I'm really excited about that. So that's what's down the pipeline for me.
I want to leave you with just one word with a punctuation mark and then something that's not actually a word after it. Chalkskin.com. That's it. We're working on all kinds of cool stuff. Check it out. That's how you're gonna get connected.
Com with an O.
With a no.
You got it. So, and yes, chalkskin.com. What I would recommend to all of you lovely people in the audience and the uglies, to go on your phone and go on Facebook and type in Broken Pixels, type in El Negro, type in Chalkskin, Tiny Nightmare, you know, type in all this stuff and just like it. And you'll stay abreast of all of the, it's you know, cosplay.
Just one.
And but you will stay abreast of everything that we are doing, and you know, as a whole, and we, you know, we all kind of are intermingling, and everybody's, you know, building off of each other, and so, and I move my hands around, and your turn. Keep it brief.
They're always doing this to me, telling me to keep it brief when he's not long and stuff, give me a little time. But anyway, just keep connected, just like I'm just bouncing off what the other guys have said. Just keep connected, chalkskin.com, you know, just look it up, check us out, as well as the other guys, Broken Pixels and El Negro. And that's really all I have to say.
I like sexting through Facebook, and I'm on Chalkskin's page, so you can just add me on there.
Please don't. Those messages
And then you
go
can
through
poke
me.
me all day.
That's not gay, right?
That's not, yeah, not like that though.
When he pokes you, it's not with his finger. Yeah, just follow me on Twitter, and I'll just follow you back. It's Tiny Nightmare 1 on Twitter, and I repost all these guys' stuff all the time to try and keep everybody in contact with everything. Again, like we have the Nerdcore night, it's down in San Diego. We're talking about moving it up here as well, so fun stuff.
Would you guys like to see a Nerdcore night up here in LA? I think that says it all. Because we kill it down in San Diego. Shout out to anybody here from San Diego. We murder it down there. God bless you. Love you.
Thank you so much for coming out, and thank you guys for entertaining us this afternoon.
Hey Johnny, what is that I see coming from the sky? Is that? Oh no! I don't like what I see. Dun, 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 dun. So who you got to call on when you need help? Tripping, you ain't found no results on Yelp. Just look up in the skies, eyes coming, quit panicking. Got more force in my shark Anakin. Don't rush me, I'm on my own schedule. And no hype either, I got my own pedestal. When I flex my chest, and if talk is cheap, I got punks invest in text. I ain't the Dark Knight, yeah, I'm extra black. So-called heroes, yeah, I extra whack.